Welcome back to the channel. If you are returning, welcome. If you are here for the first time, I am the Blunt Reader, and this is going to be a pick a card reading. This pick a card reading is going to focus on what 2020 has in store for you. I have no idea what happened to the footage that I recorded for the introduction and part of group one. So I'm just going to insert this little clip and then, go on with the reading. So, as always, feel free to take a deep breath, close your eyes, meditate, allow a number or numbers to come to you, whatever you feel drawn to, go with that. There's no right or wrong way to do this. If you need additional time, feel free to pause the video and press play when you are ready to begin. But let's go ahead and move into group number one. Group number one, your postcard from Spirit says, Dear Shiyu, you have a unique purpose and destiny that only you can fulfill. But first, you need to know that destiny isn't a destination. You don't arrive at some place where poof, you're perfect and happy all the time. It's about establishing and firming up a commitment to a certain experience, whatever form that takes. Your soul knows what you need to experience. Your destiny is to be present to all of life's adventures, to discover your talents and full potential through allowing inspiration to lead you, and to risk standing apart from the crowd to listen to your soul. You are special as much as you are also paradoxically one with the world, individual yet part of a great whole. Both truths have led you to this moment where we are saying you are on the right track, even if your ego self doesn't see that. Listen to your soul, check in with Spirit, keep going. Spirit loves you, life loves you, we love you. So I feel like going into 2020, you may have this feeling of just not really knowing what direction you're going in. Maybe you have a lot of question marks. Maybe you feel like you lack guidance and direction, and you are trying to get to this point where you understand what your path is or what your purpose is. That's one of the main questions that I get when people are booking a reading, but I feel like this is saying that you don't worry about what that is or what it looks like. It says that your soul knows what you need to experience. So you follow your path, you get in alignment with your purpose by listening to your soul, which is ultimately listening to your intuition because it knows what you need to experience. This gives me a lot of the full energy, just going along for the journey, and wherever this journey may take you, you're okay with that because you understand that as long as you are listening to your intuition, as long as you are doing the things that your heart, your soul are pulling you towards, then you're always going to be fine. It says your destiny is to be present to all of life's adventures, to discover your talents and full potential through allowing inspiration to lead you. So whatever you feel pulled to do, called to do, if you feel nudged in a particular direction, all of these things are coming up, all of these things are happening. You have these feelings because it's something that your soul is telling you that you need to experience. So for me, for example, when I was first listening to and watching readings on YouTube, after I had my first reading ever, eventually I got to a point where I felt nudged or like inclined to get my own deck, which is ultimately how I ended up doing readings on YouTube, how I created a business, because I just had that initial nudge like you should go ahead and do that, not necessarily because I thought it was going to turn into a business, but just because that's what I felt led to do. So those things that you feel pulled to, called towards, if you feel like now you have this desire to write a book or to travel or to do whatever it is that you feel led to do, trust that. Trust your intuition and know that on this journey there is no final destination, that you're always going to be traveling, moving, going from one point to the next point to the next point. Even when you transition, even when this life is over, you're going to the next point. You're going to experience life in a new and different way. This also says for me that there may be periods where you feel isolated, where you have to go astray in a sense and not necessarily following the crowd. Not saying that you were following the crowd, but everybody else that you were friends with, your family, people that you've been in relationships with, like what you used to do with those people is just not resonating with you anymore. And it's being okay with going a different way if what you've been doing is no longer working for you. Ultimately, I feel like the biggest message here is to trust yourself. And a lot of people don't. They don't trust their intuition. They always need confirmation or validation. You don't. If you feel something and you know that you feel like this is what you should do, then go with that. Then trust that, because this message says that you are on the right track. You are doing the right things. You are doing the things that your soul needs you to do, because you have to have certain experiences. And all of those experiences may not necessarily be the best or the happiest experience, but it is necessary, and it's something that you have to go through here in this lifetime so that you get something out of it. As it says, check in with your spirit, check in with yourself, check in with your heart, check in and make sure that you are at ease and at peace with the direction that you are going in. Even if you don't necessarily understand what you're doing or why you're doing it, just know that if you feel at peace about the situation, you're not stressed, worried, or anxious, and those feelings are not tied to fear, then you're going to be fine. So, group number one, let's go ahead and get into the rest of your card. That was a whole lot just based off of this postcard, but let's go ahead and get into your other oracle messages. We have true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So 2020 could bring in new love or a deeper connection in a relationship that you are already involved in. We have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. I also feel like this is a thing that is going to be very important for you in 2020. There are people that you need to forgive, yourself included. There are lessons that you are going to have to learn. Like I said, it's going to be a very personal year. There's going to be a lot of transformation, but this also means that there's going to be a lot of healing, which means there's going to be a lot of growing pains, and it's not always going to be easy. This card actually came out in reverse, and it makes sense coming out in reverse because if you look here, this person at the bottom, I guess it's a woman, I don't really know, is like begging this man for forgiveness, it seems, because she has her hands, all folded, and she has her head down. But like, look at her, like, look at him. He is not interested at all. And I feel like there may be people who have been trying to apologize, or who have tried to get in your good graces, and you just haven't been open to forgiving them. And forgiveness is not for the other person. So even if this person never apologizes, even if they never take responsibility for what they did, you're going to have to forgive them anyway, so that you can release whatever this is. In this card as well, we have, I guess these are supposed to be like angels, maybe, and they're kind of focused on him because, like I said, he is not interested in what she got to say at all. And I feel like this is kind of spirit working on you, and I want to say loosening you up to the idea of actually forgiving people, whoever it is that you may need to forgive. We have separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon. I feel like this energy could have already happened, or it's something that could happen pretty early on in 2020. You separating from someone. It could be somebody that you are in a relationship with. Maybe this is somebody that you need to forgive, but it could also be friends and family. Like I said, I feel like there's going to be a lot of isolation for this group, because there's a lot of work that you need to do, and you need to do it alone. You kind of have to stand on your own 2 feet and go your own way, even if that means you have to go alone. We have a soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. I feel like there's definitely opportunity for love, and like I said, it could be somebody new that is coming in, somebody who is your soulmate. This is the romance of a lifetime, so this isn't like, that temporary situations. I feel like this is more of a permanent relationship, a long-term relationship. And even if there is separation between you and somebody, for some of you, this person that you are separating from, I feel like it would be a temporary separation, if you feel like this is truly like your person and you know that for a fact. But I feel like there is a need to forgive some people, but this need to forgive and learn and heal and grow has to happen independently. You have to do this on your own in order to kind of be receptive and truly appreciate this love, this soulmate that is here. Because if you're not fully healed, if you haven't fully worked on the things that you need to work on, you're not going to be ready for this type of love, for this type of relationship. I posted something on Instagram, and I think it said something to the effect of what's meant for you won't be toxic, and I said that I didn't necessarily agree with that, because there are a lot of situations in life, a lot of experiences, relationships, friendships, whatever it is, that are toxic, and they are absolutely meant for you because they're meant to help you grow. Doesn't mean that they're meant to stay in your life forever. And I know for me personally, there is a particular relationship that I was in that was very toxic, but it doesn't mean that that person was not meant for me. It just meant that we had to go through a whole lot of shit in order to grow and to become better people. It took time though. It has taken a lot of time, a lot of healing, a lot of forgiveness and learning and growth. So for some of you, that could be your situation. It's kind of like the twin flame dynamic, even though I don't necessarily, like that term, and what it has become is not the term itself. It's just what, whatever. The negative connotation that is associated with it is what I don't like. But in those situations, they can be very toxic because you're triggering one another, because your whole purpose, because I feel like the purpose of those relationships are to help you grow. And like I said, growth is not easy. And so it's going to get toxic sometimes for some people. In my situation, it got toxic because we were toxic people trying to love each other in the best way we knew how. It doesn't mean that, just because a relationship is toxic doesn't mean that the love isn't real. The expression of the love may not necessarily be shown in the healthiest way, but forgiveness and learning will help you see things differently, will help you understand the purpose of the relationships that you have, will help you see why certain people are in your life. I don't even know where all of that came from, but somebody needed to hear it. So there you have it. There's been separation. For some of you, like I said, I feel like this is past energy, like you've been separated from somebody, and this could be a twin flame situation where you've been separated from this person and they're coming back. This is your true love. This is your soulmate. This is your person, the person that you are supposed to be with. And there's been a lot of forgiveness and learning. But for others of you, just depending on, what timeline you are in, there could be an upcoming separation. You may meet a new soulmate. You may meet somebody who is going to be your true love, but there has to be forgiveness and learning. There has to be healing. There has to be progress made in the situation. So moving on to your next oracle, we have It's Not Over Yet. So yeah, the separation may happen, but it may not be something that's going to be like forever. Like you break up with this person and you're never going to talk to them again. I don't necessarily feel that for all of you. For some of you, you could definitely end a relationship, but you'll still meet somebody new. You'll meet a new soulmate who will be this true love for you, but forgiveness and learning is necessary. We also have long-term. A long-term relationship, something that is going to last. I feel like relationships in general are going to be important in 2020. Forgiving your parents if you need to forgive your parents, forgiving yourself, forgiving friends possibly, but there's going to be a lot of forgiveness, a lot of learning. And I feel like it has to do with the relationships that you have. I also feel like there's definitely opportunity for true love, not just, a temporary situation. Long term is here. It's not over yet. This says to me that this is somebody that you've dealt with. But with separation, again, I feel like this is something that has happened, like it's been a while. It's not something that just happened like recently. It feels promising. I'll say that much. It definitely feels promising, and I feel like for some of you, you've been waiting for this. You've been waiting for this moment, and I feel like 2020 is going to give you exactly what you've been looking for. Moving on to your tarot cards, we have Temperance. Makes sense. This is the healing. This is restoration. This is finding peace, finding balance. This is also about being patient. Like I said, for some of you, you've been waiting on this for a very long time, and it's been a test of your patience, and you may still have to wait a little while, but it is something that is going to happen. I feel like what you do in the meantime while you wait is going to be very important. How you use this time and how you've used this time is going to be very important to you. Have you been healing? Have you done the necessary healing work? Have you dug deep? Have you uncovered the layers that maybe you had forgotten about? Have you healed those wounds? Have you felt the feelings? Have you acknowledged that there were issues, that there were wounds, that there were traumas that you hadn't necessarily dealt with? Have you addressed these with the people that you needed to address them with? Or are you being helped in some other way, whether by a spiritual leader or going to therapy if you feel you need that? But are you unpacking your baggage, essentially, is the question here. Have you done the work? If you've done the work, then you will be rewarded. If not, then 2020 may be a year of you being faced with all of the things that you have chosen not to face. We have the Ace of Wands, though. A new beginning, a new passionate beginning, a new opportunity. This Ace of Wands could also talk about new passionate ideas, creativity, exploring your creativity in a new way. I feel talents came up in the postcard from Spirit, so maybe utilizing your talents more. Maybe you pursue what you've been passionate about for a very long time and it pays off for you. We have the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. These are the emotions, these are the feelings, the things that you have to really dive deep into, regardless of what sign you are. For water signs, that's usually not all that difficult. Maybe with Scorpios, because y'all can be, listen, y'all know how y'all are. But for anybody, especially if you are someone who doesn't necessarily like to talk about emotions or express your emotions, I feel like 2020 is going to push you out of your comfort zone. It's going to get you out of the bubble that you have kind of kept yourself in whatever way you've kept yourself comfortable. For it's going to be different for everybody, but I feel like your emotions are definitely going to come into play, especially because we have all of this relationship and love stuff present here. It is going to be really digging into those emotions. For some of you, you could be getting pregnant or having a child during 2020. And I feel like for some of you, it's been a long time coming. Like, this is also something you've waited for. Maybe it's just been the family altogether, being married or having a committed partner, because not everybody wants to be married, having the kids, having the home, settling down. Maybe that has been a focus for you, as something that you've wanted and it hasn't happened as of yet, but I feel like it's definitely going to happen. I also feel like Spirit is saying that there are some things you're going to have to go after on your own. You can't continue to sit here and look in this cup like this Queen of Cups is doing, or like this Ace of Wands. The woman is just kind of looking at the wand like you're going to have to go out and get it. You can't just admire it anymore. You can't just wish and hope and pray for it anymore. You have to go out and obtain it. You have to go out and get it. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is, again, an offer of stability that is coming into you. The Knight of Pentacles is coming in towards the Queen of Cups. Is the camera focused? The Knight of Pentacles is moving towards the Queen of Cups, but for some of you, you're going to be so focused on something else that you may miss this offer. Whether it's a job that's coming in, a business opportunity, or a person, you may miss it if you are not paying attention. If you are so caught up and so focused on something else, you may miss it. And for some of you, I feel like it's not necessarily that you're not going to see it, is that you're going to resist it, because there is still this temperance that's right here in the middle that says that there are things that need to be healed. So if you do not forgive, if you do not learn the lessons, if you do not heal what needs to be healed, you will miss out on this opportunity that is being presented to you. The passion that you want, the chemistry that you want, the stability that you want in a relationship is going to be presented to you, or it has already been presented to you, and this relationship will just continue to grow. But don't miss out on a good opportunity because you've tried to skip doing the work, because you haven't healed, because you haven't used your time wisely. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck, but it's slow because it's cautious, because it's handling something that is very important. And this knight wants to protect. This is a protector. This is also a provider. Slow and steady wins the race here, especially because we have the Knight of Swords here in reverse. The Knight of Swords is very fast moving action. It's very quick. It's doing something without really thinking about it. I feel like in 2020, it's not a year for you to go fast. It's a year for you to really take things slowly, to soak things up. And things may feel like they're not moving at all, but they are moving. You may want things to move faster than they are, to move quicker than they are, but they don't need to. Enjoy every moment of 2020. Allow yourself to really be fully present, which is what the postcard said. Your destiny is to be present to all of life's adventures, to discover your talents and full potential through allowing inspiration to lead you, and to risk standing apart from the crowd to listen to your soul. That is your destiny, to be present always. In all things, be 100% present. Allow yourself to experience all of your experiences. Sometimes we rush through things and it's like we don't even get to savor the moment or savor whatever it is. Sometimes we're so focused on the next step that we forget to really relish in this step. And sometimes we do that in relationships. It's like, okay, I have all of this passion and this intensity and the chemistry is there and I like this person. Okay, now I love this person. Okay, now we need to be talking about getting married or moving in together or having kids. It's always what's next, what's next, what's next, instead of allowing yourself to fully enjoy every stage of the relationship, because it's never going to be as new as it is when it first starts. Those feelings, those experiences, those emotions, those whatever is happening in the beginning of the relationship, you're not going to get that again. Of course, you can have newness in a relationship whenever you want it to, but it's never going to be exactly the same. So at every stage, every phase, every moment, try your hardest to be very present, to experience it. And for me, what always comes to mind when I think of this is like if you're eating something, especially if you are eating something for the first time, but you're really hungry. And so it's like, it's not even a matter of I want to eat this to taste it, to enjoy it, to really get the full experience of it. It's like, no, I'm hungry. I'm just trying to fill my stomach, so I'm eating quickly. Knight of Swords energy, very fast. I'm not really paying attention to what I'm doing. Maybe I'm talking. Maybe I'm on my phone. Maybe I'm watching TV. Maybe I'm just distracted doing whatever it is that I'm doing, that I'm missing out on all of the flavors and the textures and the way that I feel as I'm eating it, because I'm not taking my time, because I'm not going slow, because I'm not savoring and enjoying and being fully present in the moment. So I feel like 2020 is asking that you slow down, that you be more cautious with your decisions, with your choices. Don't rush to make any decisions and choices if you do not have complete peace about it. And peace in the sense that you feel like, yes, this is a good move. You feel like your intuition is telling you that this is what you need to do. Sometimes we may not necessarily feel peaceful about a situation, but that could also be fear. So you have to, know the difference between fear and your intuition telling you this is not a good move. But 2020 is asking that you be fully present, that you take things slowly, that you forgive, that you learn the things that you need to learn, that you observe your relationships with people, that you be okay with being uncomfortable, because eventually you will get to a place that it'll all make sense and you'll understand why you had to go through the things that you had to go through. And then we have the Hermit, which makes sense. That isolation. It's going to be a period of isolation for you. And I feel like it's going to almost feel as if you are moving through mud or like quicksand. It's going to feel like that every step you take, you seem to go deeper, and it's almost like you're sinking, but you're not. You're fine. You're stable. You're stationary, it may seem, but you're fine. You're going to be okay as long as you keep taking steps. No matter how slowly you seem to be going, the biggest thing is that you don't stop, that you keep going. I don't know who said this, but you know, it may feel like you are going through hell, and that's where you want to quit. You want to throw in the towel because it just becomes too much. But why would you stop in hell? Why would you not keep going until you got to a place where you felt safe, where you felt secure, where you felt stable? Because even though it feels like hell, the visual that I'm getting is somebody stuck in mud. It may feel discouraging. It may feel like you're not making any progress, but even in mud, you can move. It's just going to be difficult for you to move. Difficult does not mean impossible, though. So as long as you keep moving, as long as you keep being led by inspiration, as long as you keep listening to your heart, listening to your soul, doing the things that feel right to you, then you'll be fine. 2020 has a lot to offer you. It has a lot to show you. And like I said, I feel like you're going to be hypersensitive to a lot that is going on. And because you are hypersensitive, it may be necessary for you to go into hermit mode, because it can be overwhelming being exposed to so much all the time. So make sure that you make time for yourself, that you give yourself time to rest and recharge. Some of you have been on go mode like all 2019, and 2020 is a year for you to kind of take a step back and relax a little bit. Group number 1, I do hope that this was helpful for you. I hope that it gives you some guidance, some clarity, some insight. Be sure to leave me a comment down below if this resonates with you, or if you feel you benefited from it in some way, like this video, share. Follow me on Instagram as well at thebluntreader, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Group number 2, we are going to start with your postcard from Spirit. This is what it looks like. If you want to know the name of the decks that I am using, they are always in the description box below. Dearest you, let us ask you, are you looking for happiness outside of your everyday moment-to-moment experience, thinking you will find happiness out there someday? So many go chasing a magic it out there, but it never could be found there. So we want to share a secret that shouldn't be a secret. You are pure joy. What made you is pure joy, and every time you wake up and even when you sleep, you have joy waiting to be expressed inside you. Joy and happiness and fullness come from doing joy, being joy. Knowing it, cultivating it, and lighting it in your heart so you can share it. You must know this so when the time comes, you will be fully free, and your joyful being and actions will turn you into a beacon of starlight. Look within and be joyful even for tears and loss, for they mean you have lived, really lived. Jump into it all and love every minute. We all love you like crazy over here. So the theme of happiness and joy is here. Also fulfillment. Anything that fulfills you, makes you happy, brings you joy. But it is an internal look at these things, not an external look. I feel like for a lot of people, not just the people in this group, but we are always looking for joy outside of ourselves. When we get this relationship, when we get married, when we have kids, when we have this home, when we have X amount of dollars in our bank account, when we lose this weight, when we look this particular way, when we obtain this, when we achieve this, then we'll be happy. But happiness is something that you create. It is something that you cultivate. You can be as happy as you choose to be. It's why there are so many people who have less and are happier than people who have the most, because they realize that happiness is not attached to anything outside of yourself. When you attach happiness to something outside of yourself, the moment that thing leaves, because it will leave in some form someday, then your happiness goes along with it. Then what? Then you begin to chase the next thing that is going to make you happy, or that you feel is going to make you happy. But the happiness that you are looking for is internal. And when you take back that power that you've given to whatever it is you've given this power to, you will realize that in every moment, even as you are listening to this video, whenever you are listening to this video, you are able to be happy right now just by choosing happiness, by realizing that you are happiness, that you are joy, that you can be as happy as you want to be. It's not about anything outside of yourself. So in 2020, I feel like Spirit wants you to take more of an internal look and see why you feel that happiness is something outside of yourself. Why are you not creating happiness for yourself? Why are you choosing to wait until, you get this certain thing or you have this in order to be happy? It's reminding me of when I was younger, my grandmother, I feel like a lot of people, had this little china cabinet. It had all the good china in it, and we only used the good china during, holidays, like special occasions, or people have a specific outfit, and it's like I'm waiting for a special occasion. But every day that you have life, every day that you are able to get up and experience life is a special occasion. So why do we not celebrate or utilize these things that we reserve for special occasions every day? Because every day is a special occasion. Every day that you are here, that you get to be a part of the living, that you get to experience new things, that you get to be a benefit or a service or a help to somebody, that somebody is a benefit, a help, or a service to you, is a special occasion. And I feel like Spirit is saying that in 2020 you should celebrate more, that you should allow yourself to be happy, to be as happy as a little kid on Christmas. Because kids are fascinated with the simplest things. It's just like dogs too. Not saying that kids and dogs are alike, but in some ways they are. You can buy children all the toys in the world, and I know kids who would rather play with the box than play with the actual toy. And it's like, then why did I spend all my money on this toy if you just wanted the box? Because they find joy in simple things, because the little things excite them. And for a lot of adults, it is the little things that excite us, that make us happy. I mean, I would love, frequent deposits into my checking account. I would like a trip to Bora Bora. I would like a lot of material things, but at the end of the day, just knowing that somebody is thinking about me enough to send me a text like, hey, are you okay? Like, those things matter the most. That's where I get joy and fulfillment. By doing things for other people also brings me joy and fulfillment. So do the things that bring you joy and fulfillment and create this happiness for yourself. I feel like that's the message for you. So for your oracles, well, okay then. We have past life relationship. You have known each other before. We have reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. And we have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So some of you could definitely be getting engaged or married. With reconciliation, this is somebody that you've known before. It could be in the past life, but I feel like this is somebody that you've already dealt with, who is coming back around in order to offer you something, offer you commitment. And maybe there has been, I feel like there's a lot of history here. I definitely feel like there's a lot of history here. There was an ending, but this person is coming back wanting to take things to the next level. I kind of want to say a do-over, but I feel like it's not, because they're trying to necessarily replace what has already happened between you two. It's not like, just forget everything that ever happened previously, forget anything that I did, but I'm trying to, not even trying to, this time will be different, basically. This time things are going to be different. This time things are going to be stable, because I feel like things weren't very stable initially for whatever reason. It feels like previously the timing was wrong. And maybe this person wasn't really ready for commitment. Maybe you weren't ready for commitment. Maybe neither one of you were ready. And it has taken this separation, this time apart, to kind of put things in perspective for you to have the experiences that you need to have and grow and evolve and become better people for, you know, yourself, but also for each other, so that you can have this relationship. We have commitment issues here, so maybe that was an issue. Maybe there was an issue with committing and being stable. And we have wandering eye, but it came out in reverse. I don't really know if these cards have reversals, but it makes sense with wandering eye being in reverse, because this is like the past energy. This may be why, you know, things didn't work out between you and this person before, because they had a wandering eye, because they had commitment issues, because they were running from the connection, whatever the case may be. But I feel like now things are different. Things are stable. There's been some sort of change, possibly because you have both had, you know, different experiences during the time that you've been apart that have kind of put things into perspective. Those are your oracle cards. Let's go ahead and move into the tarot cards. For the tarot cards, we have the Queen of Pentacles, so Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy. Doesn't have to be, you know, any of those signs. And we have the Chariot. So a lot of forward movement here. Forward movement and it being successful. I feel like a lot of you will be focused on your success, on gaining stability in your finances. I feel like just a completely different outlook on your finances and how you're going to make money, even save and invest money more this time around. I feel like for some of you, maybe your goal is to kind of save for a house, maybe save a down payment or something so that you can get a house, or, you know, whatever it is that you want. For some of you, I definitely feel like there is an older gentleman that is either already in your energy or will be in your energy, who can kind of assist. And I feel like this is like a romantic partner, so it could be the person that you are reconciling with. Maybe this person is older, and I don't mean older like, you know, a 30-year age difference, just older than you. Could also be a bit more established than you, but I feel like you hold your own. Like, you're good by yourself. You're handling things on your own. But this person, for example, this person may be an entrepreneur. They may have their own business or businesses. And maybe that's something that you want to do. And so they can kind of help you in that department because they already have a business and can kind of show you the ropes. So I feel like this is a romantic partner, but they would also make a really good business partner. And with this Queen of Pentacles, hey, we all for that. Earth energy, absolutely. And then look at this. We have the King of Pentacles. So we have the King and the Queen of Pentacles. This is your counterpart. This is your soulmate. This is whoever, you know, you want to call them. Whatever you want to call them, it's fine with me. But this is your person. And again, with that business thing, it makes sense. Somebody who is well established in their career or in their field and is able to kind of help you if you desire their help. I don't feel like this is somebody who's just going to try and step on your toes and tell you what to do, but it's like if you ask them for help, if you ask them for guidance, they'll give you that. This is also the provider, the husband, the father. So look, a solid partnership here, definitely, especially because you got the Ten of Pentacles. So you got the King and the Queen of Pentacles, and you have the Ten of Pentacles. All these Pentacles here says that money is going to be flowing. That money is not going to be an issue, but I feel like it's because your relationship and the way that you view money is changing. You're also putting new things into practice. So maybe new habits with your spending, maybe you're saving more, maybe you're learning how to invest. I feel like money is not going to be an issue. I'm hearing brownstone. So some of you may live in a brownstone, or this is where you want to live. But I definitely feel like you're going to be, for some of you, you'll be buying or purchasing a home. Whatever type of home that is for you. Because, you know, not everybody wants the, what do you call them? Single family homes? For me, for example, like I'm cool with purchasing a condo. I mean, the single family home, maybe somewhere down the line, but give me a condo that I can buy, live in until I'm ready for that single family home, and then I could use that condo, as a rental property and get some more money from it. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm always thinking about ways to get money. Anyway, we have, oh, I like this. We have Death, the Page of Cups, and the Star. So this star is the healing. The star is the healing. This is also the card of Aquarius. So you can be a Capricorn, Aquarius cusp, or you could be one of those signs. We got a lot of pentacles here, so that's why I'm, saying Capricorn. Could also be Taurus, Virgo, Cancer, whatever your sign is. But the star here is healing. The healing comes after this death energy. This is the card of Scorpio, but this is an ending. This is death and rebirth. So then the relationship, the connection, something ends. The rebirth is happening because we had reconciliation here. We had engagement. We had, was it past life relationship? I believe it was. So this rebirth is happening. This renewal is happening. And we have the Page of Cups. Page of Cups, so somebody wanting to offer you something, but this for me is an apology. This is somebody coming back trying to right their wrongs. They want to make amends. They, look, I'm sorry. 2019, 2018, 17, 16, however long it's been that you've been dealing with this person and wanting to kind of start things over. And my bad if you hear all that noise. They doing construction on the road again. I feel like 2020 is going to give you all of the things that you've been waiting for, all of the things that you feel are going to fulfill you, but I also feel like it's Spirit saying that be happy before you get these things. Be happy before you get the relationship, before you get the financial stability. Be happy now. Realize that none of these things are your source of happiness. This person may make you happy, may make you feel fulfilled, but they're not your source of happiness. Your happiness is yours. Own that. Don't give that power to anything or anyone else. But I do feel like you will have a lot of wins. Doesn't mean that there won't be any, obstacles in the way, but I do feel like things are coming together. Is what I want to say. Things are coming together. And I feel like for some of you, it's like, finally, shit, I've been waiting a long time for this. Like, I earned this. And you did. So I feel a solid, stable, committed relationship coming. For some of you, you could be getting engaged or getting married during 2020. For some of you, you could just be getting into a relationship and you've been single for, a very long time. And it could be with somebody that you've already had a relationship with. But I also feel a lot of financial stability. Maybe starting your business or multiple businesses, advancing in your career. Some of you could be going back to school, getting a degree. I'm hearing higher education, so you could be getting a degree, or you could be getting a degree in higher education. But I feel a lot of stability. There you have it. I do hope that this was helpful for you. If it was, if you found something that was beneficial, please leave me a comment down below. Also, like this video, share it with your people. Follow me on Instagram at thebluntreader, and I'll talk to y'all next time. Group number 3, last but not least, let's go ahead and get into your postcard from Spirit. This is what it looks like. If you want to know the name of any of the decks that I am using, they are down below in the description box as always. Your postcard from Spirit says, Dear you, uncertainty is the new normal for the whole world. Things are changing at a rapid pace and the old ways we once trusted are no longer reliable. But leaving the familiar behind can be a good thing. When you are pushed to step into the unknown, you are pulled forward into discovering new possibilities that have been hidden in plain sight. Check in with your higher power. Your soul knows better than your small self. Have faith in the support of a higher power and the infinite potential for your life. Right now, the advice we have for you is this. Try something new, do something different. You won't know how it feels, what it looks like, or what the outcome will be if you do not take that first step into the unknown and experience the unfamiliarity. You'll be so glad you did, because the treasure will appear. We're so proud of you for being brave. You are so loved and so supported. So immediately this is giving me the full vibes. Taking that leap of faith, going into the unknown, doing the things that scare the hell out of you, because that is where treasure awaits. There is a need to be brave, to be courageous, to take that step outside of your comfort zone. And when you take this step outside of your comfort zone, because what I'm seeing is someone who is literally standing in like a little circle. Like the circle is almost like a chalk outline around this person's feet. And like, look, if the wind blow, they gonna be outside of this circle because you outgrown it. Maybe once upon a time there was a lot of room and space within this circle, but you've outgrown your comfort zone and you're going to be pushed out. And I feel like if you don't take this leap of faith, then the universe is going to just push your ass. It's like you're standing on the diving board and you were all optimistic to get your ass up there, but now that you up there, it's like, oh shit, I'm scared, that's a long way down. And so you can't even turn around because there's people behind you. So it's like either you're going to jump or somebody's going to push you. And I feel like even if you take this jump, it's going to be, like you're going to step right outside the circle so that you can kind of tiptoe your way back into your comfort zone. Ain't gonna work. As soon as you take that leap of faith, I feel like a gust of wind comes and pushes you so far out of your comfort zone that it will be a long way for you to get back. So you might as well stay where you at. This definitely feels like being pushed outside of your comfort zone, doing the things that make you uncomfortable, doing the things that scare you, doing the things that you put off all of 2019 because you weren't ready, you didn't have this, you didn't have that, you wanted to accomplish X, Y, and Z first. You don't have time for all of that. And I actually did a podcast on this, and if I remember, I will put it down in the description box below. You don't have time to prepare for this. You've had time to prepare for it. In 2020 though, you don't. It's game time. You have to go. You have to jump. So you're either going to do it voluntarily or you're going to be pushed. And you don't know what the outcome is going to be, but if you trust in a higher power, if you trust in spirit, God, the universe, whoever you believe in, if you trust that your ancestors are going to come through for you, then there's nothing for you to worry about. Once you take that leap of faith, once you do whatever it is that you have felt led to do but you've been putting off, you realize that it's not as scary as you thought it was. That you're going to be okay, because where you're going, that's where the treasure is. Are you afraid of winning? Because that's what's going to be there when you get there. But you'll never get there if you don't take this leap of faith. You'll never get the success that you want. You'll never get whatever it is that you're going after if you don't do it. You can continue thinking about it, dreaming about it, trying to manifest it, praying about it, whatever. If you don't do it, it does not matter. Faith without works is dead. Meaning you can have all the faith in the world, but if you don't take that leap, it don't matter. 2020 is going to push you outside of your comfort zone. That is what is awaiting you. So you have to face your fears head on. You have to do the things that you are afraid of doing anyway. You may not feel ready. You may not feel prepared. You may feel like you need to do X, Y, and Z first, whatever. It doesn't matter what you feel, what you think. The universe is going to make sure that you get this shit done because it is necessary for you to do it, period. So if you are watching this video while it is still 2019, then you have a little bit of time to prepare yourself for what is to come. You can figure this out now so that you are ready to tackle this head on, or you just gonna get pushed. And then you won't have time to think about anything but your landing and how you're going to land. Your first oracle card is very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. You don't have time because you've had time and you procrastinated. You wasted that time. So now it's game time. Now you gotta go. Now you gotta do it. Because everybody who's standing behind you at the top of this diving board is pressuring you to go, to jump, to do it. We have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. This is stay optimistic about life in general. Your love life, your business, career, finances, your family, whatever. Stay optimistic. Think of the positive. Think of the positive outcomes. Doesn't mean that there won't be anything negative to happen, but how you choose to view it is completely up to you. Your perspective makes the difference. We have it is safe for you to love, open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. For some of you, what you're afraid to do is to be in love, is to allow somebody to care for your heart, is for somebody to be there for you. And so, you're going to be pushed outside of your comfort zone with that. For some of you have been like, nah, I'm good. I don't want no relationship. I don't want love. I'm just focused on money and finances and career and school and, everything but love. Well, if that's the way you've been thinking, be ready to dive in head first, or heart first, I should say. We have healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So maybe the issue for some of you is that there are things there are things that you have not forgiven. Maybe forgiving your parents for, maybe forgiving other people that you've been in relationships with for, people who have hurt you in some kind of way. Maybe there is a need to forgive. Yeah, I feel like definitely for some of you, at least, this has to do with love. Some of you have been so closed off and have kind of given up or sworn off love because you've been hurt. And this visual of somebody just diving into this pool is you diving into your emotions, getting outside of your comfort zone when it comes to your emotions and your feelings. It is safe for you to love. It is safe for you to do whatever it is that you are being guided to do, that you are being led to do. That is where the treasure is. I feel like what I'm seeing is somebody's heart, like your heart chakra, and it is lit the fuck up. You are going to dive deep into your heart, the matters of your heart. That means anything that has been broken, anything that has been bruised, anything that fills your heart up, anything that makes you happy, anything that you love. All of these things are going to come into play. So prepare yourself for this, because this is what 2020 is going to be about for you very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. We have summer came out in reverse though. And we have liar. So summer coming out in reverse could be something that happened in the summer. Maybe because somebody was lying. But with summer in reverse, I feel like it's because very soon is here, and it's like, nah, it ain't. We not waiting all the way till summer for this to happen. It's going to happen a lot sooner. There we have it. Those are your oracle cards. Let's go ahead and get into these tarot cards. I feel like some of you could be just very cold, like when it comes to love, emotions, feelings, all of that good stuff, because all the readings that I've done so far today, all the videos that I've done, like, I'm freezing right now. I mean, I'm usually cold because I'm anemic, but I wasn't cold till I started doing yours. So what's going on? There's something that has to be healed. Everything that you've been holding in, all of the emotions, the feelings that you have suppressed, all of the things you haven't dealt with, haven't talked about, haven't uncovered, all of the things that you have repressed, suppressed, they're coming out. I won't even say that they're coming out. You're going in heart first. You're going in heart first is what I'm feeling. We have the 9 of Wands in reverse. The 9 of Wands is about being defensive. And I'm going to turn it around just so you can see. In this visual, this is the wall that you have wrapped yourself in, that you have built around yourself in order to protect yourself. But this came out in reverse, so that wall is coming down. The wall is tumbling down. The wall is tumbling down, my love, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you're going to have to man the hell up and deal with it. You're going to have to face these emotions. You're going to have to face the things that you don't want to face. 10 of Cups. Love. Emotional fulfillment. A stable relationship. For some of you, you've had a very dysfunctional and toxic childhood, maybe because of your parents, your home, however you grew up. But I feel like 2020 is allowing you, if you choose, somewhat, because I don't really feel like you have much of a choice, but is allowing you to kind of reinvent and redefine what family is to you. What does that look like? What does that mean to you? May not even be your biological family. Maybe it's your friends. Maybe it's a relationship. You know, maybe you have a partner, or you will have a partner with this Ten of Cups here, and that becomes your family, and you get to kind of change the narrative, is what I'm feeling. You get to change the narrative because this is your story, this is your life. So if you don't like the narrative that you've had, if you don't like the story because you didn't really have much of a choice in who your parents were and the types of behaviors they exposed you to, then as an adult, rewrite it. You can now, as an adult, change the direction of this narrative. You don't have to continue this cycle. You can break it. I feel like 2020 is allowing you to really heal and purge those things. For a lot of you, I feel like it has to do with your childhood. There are a lot of inner child wounds, a lot of inner child issues that will need to be taken care of. We have the Two of Cups. So we got the Two of Cups, we got the Ten of Cups. This is the soulmate connection here. We have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups talks about, a third party situation sometimes, but it's also about reuniting, reconciling, coming back together. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So this is a connection that you or this other person start working on, because I definitely feel like this is somebody that you've obviously been involved with. Seven of Wands, there goes that defensiveness, being on guard. And we have the Chariot, the opportunity to move forward though. 2020 is going to throw you into a whole new world, and then ask that you get up and find your way. In a sense, it's kind of like being thrown to the wolves and then being told to defend yourself. Seven of Wands energy. Defend yourself. Protect yourself. But with the Seven of Wands energy, I feel like a lot of you have this mentality of always being in survival mode. Like, I always have to be on defense. I always have to defend myself against something. And I always use this comparison because it makes the most sense to me. It's like if you grew up in the hood, you're used to having to protect yourself. You're used to always having to protect yourself and defend yourself and protect your things and the things that matter to you, protecting your family, protecting your home and the things inside of your home, the things outside of your home, so that people don't steal it. There are always these different things that you have to protect yourself against. But then you move and you have some level of success. You get out of the hood, but mentally you're still in the hood. So you're still acting and behaving the same way. And it's like you're defending yourself and protecting yourself when there is no danger. There is no threat present. So you don't always have to be in survival mode. And I feel like 2020 is going to help you to kind of change that mindset. You don't always have to defend yourself because there's not always a threat present. The people who come into your life are not a threat to you all the time. And so you are being thrown to the wolves and told to defend yourself. And you come back, look, the wolves that were supposed to defeat you are now leading you towards success. Why? Because you have the power to control this. You can handle this. This isn't something that's new to you. You've gotten yourself out of situations before. You've dealt with difficulties before. This is not new to you. So don't act like it is. The environment may be new. These circumstances are not. For some of you, you've always felt like the odds have been stacked against you. So this is really no different. If you feel like the odds are stacked against you in this, it's just like everything else that you've dealt with, and you've gotten past that. You've gotten to this point. There is success here for you. Where you are going when you take this leap of faith, there is treasure there. The Chariot. This is success. So are you ready to go to war, to defend, to protect the things that are for you, and not go to war with anybody or anything else but you, but these self-limiting beliefs you have put on yourself, but everything that tells you that you can't do it, you fighting against the things that have stopped you from progressing, from being successful, you digging into your heart space, you performing open heart surgery and getting rid of all of these infections that have settled there because they don't belong there, because you have not addressed them, you have not healed them, you've allowed them to continue to be there and rot, and so you've rotted. For some of you, there is nothing. There is emptiness there because you have allowed these things to just eat away at everything that is you, everything that is in your heart center, everything that is in your heart space. It may have gotten to your heart, but it cannot impact your soul. That is still always there. And so if you are willing to perform open heart surgery, if you are willing to clean and disinfect and remove, if you are willing to heal the things that need to be healed, success is there. But you have to be willing to go after it. You have to be willing to do something about it. I can't lie. I feel like 2020 is going to be a bit of a heavy year for you, but no heavier than the burdens you've already been carrying. So once you start to unpack them, once you start to remove and cleanse and heal and purge and shed, things become easier. They become lighter, but only if you're willing. I feel like I want to end it there. I do hope that there was something said in this video that is helpful, that is useful. If you did find it beneficial, please leave me a comment down below. Also, like this video, subscribe, share it with your friends. I do hope it is a video that you will revisit. Until next time, y'all, I love you for free.